Welcome back, CMC fans. First team in the Den pool pits another newcomer, Kevin 5 Factorial Knudsen.
And a longtime nemesis of many CMC participants, it's Joe Samson Nierengarten.
Now Steve, do you think the villainous ways of Samson are going to rub off on such a do-gooder like Kevin 5 Factorial Knudsen?
Certainly not. If St. Bridget's has taught us anything, it's that you can run a softball team with only one member of the team actually being a part of St. Bridget's Parish.
That's true. No doubt 5 Factorial will be looking to bend the rules.
For the second team in the Den pool, we'll be welcoming two CMC participants who are traveling quite a distance to make it back to the hallowed grounds. That's right, it's our Rocky Mountain friends, Jamal Riding Dirty Franklin
and Benny Two Belts Mulvey. Steve, while Jamal might be a question mark, we do know that he has athleticism. I'm wondering, do you think that Two Belts can bring that out of him and really shape it into something at CMC?
Well, we've seen that Two Belts continues to improve year after year. The question is, can the ultimate sidekick take on more of a leadership responsibility this year? Certainly, he won't just be throwing the ball to Jamal inside and having to make open three-pointers. As the talent level increases, so do the responsibilities. Well, John, we've got another team that's really a combination of two mid-level players here.
Yeah, and Steve, the potential here is that these guys could go either way.
After taking home some serious hardware last year, the #2 trainer will look to shoulder more of the load this year.
And let's see if Pierce can improve on the offensive end as he has done over the last 2 years.
You know his defense is going to be tight. That's why he's the Dutch.
The next team in the Den pool puts two participants together that no doubt have been dreaming about this since the 6th grade. It's Gordy Den's little quarterback, Dan Future Cobian.
And Joel Spoons Finstead.
There's a lot of opportunities here for these two to cast from outside. Two pretty good shooters, but Steve, what are they going to do on the inside?
John, they're going to get manhandled again and again. John, they're really going to have to make the most of all their offensive opportunities and double any big man that gets inside,
as well as potentially break someone's leg.
After Spoon's 1-year hiatus from the game, can he just step right back in and return to the level that he reached 2 years ago?
Bam, 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 bam.
And the fifth and final team in the Gordy Den pool combines Alec the White Shadow Danielson
and Mike King Schwabel Orgman.
Don't believe the hype here, John. White Shadow has reached a level he can't possibly reach again.
Exactly, and I probably learned my lesson after picking Schwab's to be the most improved player at CMC 3. My prediction for this team, absolute dead last.
John, don't forget, this team has some hidden strengths. Okay, they're very long.
That's true.
And very high on the hangover recovery ability,
which we do know is one of the most key elements in success at CMC.
Again and again.
Steve, CMC 4 brings with it a new wrinkle as we've added 2 teams to the field, now sit at 10. Perhaps you'd like to break down what that means for CMC and for its fans.
John, I thought you'd never ask. Let's head on over to the CMC Board of Magic. John, if we've learned anything from our brothers at the NCAA, it's that expansion is the best for everyone because it just means more money in everybody's pockets. So let's take a look at last year's tournament board. It's your standard 8 tournament board. Yeah, we're not going to do that this year for sure. We're going to have some more teams playing, probably up here, down here somewhere. There's going to be a team, maybe they play there. I'm really not sure how this is going to work out yet, John. I didn't really think about it. I assume if we can't figure it out by this, we'll just have sack races. But I'll tell you what, John, I am going to be farting money all the way to next year. Woo!
Now it's time for our most highly requested segment. It's the Breakfast of Champions, Steve Oatmeal's Championship Picks. Steve, give me your prediction for the team most likely to surprise.
You know, my sleeper team for this year, John, I think I'm going to go with Kevin 5 Factorial Knudsen and Joe Samson Nierengarten. I think working together, these two have a basketball pedigree that a lot of the other teams just lack. I think they're going to be able to reach that mid to high level of competitiveness that's really required for CMC success.
It's a very interesting take, Steve. Now we'd like to know, what's the team most likely to disappoint?
John, my biggest disappointment, after 2 title belts in 3 years, there's just no way that Ben Mulvey's going to keep up that pace. It's time for 2 belts to take a fall. How long has it been since Jamal Franklin has played a competitive game of basketball? I think he's going to find out real quick that sitting on the ski slopes for 3 years doesn't help your CMC chances.
Shocking, Steve. Go ahead and give us the Den Pool winner.
John, when I look at the Den Pool, I think I got to take a page out of your book. I think I'm going to go with Alec the White Shadow Danielson and Mike King Schwabel Orgerman. I think these two are a good mix for each other. That Alman has really shown the ability to score on the cage courts, and King Schwabel has been in lockdown mode for the last 2 years.
I've got a hankering for some Doba and a Revive. Now give us the Lipke Pool winners.
John, my Lipke Pool winner, I gotta go with Bobby and Juice. I think those two big guys are gonna get together and throw some weight around, kind of like Coach Lipke would have intended. Also, Bobby's got the haircut that Coach Lipke would really appreciate.
Now, Steve, if you had to entrust one team to watch your world-renowned collection of rare tropical fish, who would you leave that up to?
John, I'm glad you asked that question. It's something that's been on my mind a lot recently, and it didn't take much thought to realize that I don't want anyone's hands on my tetras and neons other than John Big Trouble in Little China Weiss. There's just no way you can replicate those silky smooth fingers. And Brett May, the world traveler, certainly knows a thing or two about tropical species. Alright fans, it's finally here. Allow me to introduce my colleague John Toast with his predictions for individual performances at CMC4. That's right, it's the toast of the town. Alright John, let's get to us. Give us your all-CMC team for the 2010 CMC.
Steve, my all-CMC team is as follows. Joe Drunken Master Jenkins strings it together for a second consecutive year after falling short in his debut, garnering all-CMC accolades. Bobby the Garbage Man Olson isn't the defending champion for nothing. He gets another one. Dan Future Cobian's going to have to carry Joel Spoons Finstead through this tournament. That's going to push him towards all-CMC. A newcomer on this list, Kevin 5 Factorial Knudsen, is going to make a huge splash in his CMC debut, garnering all-CMC. And last but not least, a little bit of a surprise, Alec the White Shadow Danielson. I think he might be able to overcome all this hype and show up as all CMC.
You know, that's just what I expected. You're an easy read, Toast. Alright, give us your defensive MVP for this year.
Steve, my defensive MVP is going to be Mike King Schwabel Orgerman. He's flown under the radar in terms of locking down premier scores on the CMC blacktop. I look for this to be the year he finally gets the credit he deserves on the defensive end. While overshadowed by his poor offensive play, King Schwabel will step up this year and get himself a trophy.
John, I'm both in awe of your knowledge and agree with your pick. Who we got for most improved this year?
Steve, my most improved player is John Big Trouble in Little China Weiss. Now, Big Trouble struggled a little bit last year from outside, but I don't see that happening. He's too good of a shooter and has been for too long for that to continue. So look for him to knock it down from the outside, opening things up for his teammate, Brett Wookie May. I expect them to make a big impact at CMC.
All right, and last, John, who's going to be the Rookie of the Year at CMC4?
Steve, as I pointed out, this guy's already making all CMC teams, so you can mail this one in. Kevin 5 Factorial Knudsen will be your 2010 CMC Rookie of the Year. Too much talent, too much athleticism, way too much dental knowledge.
All right, John, I'm going to give it to you straight. You're rock climbing in Alaska, the base of Mount McKinley. You slip and fall into the water. Now you got about 3 hours to warm your core temperature before you slip into an icy death. What CMC participant's supple yet manly body do you snuggle up with to stave off an icy death?
Steve, well, I've never thought about that question in my entire life. I can tell you that automatically the first name that comes to mind is Tony the Juice Miller. I mean, he's an outdoorsman, he knows his way around the water, he works in the snow, and what I heard, he's quite the cuddler. Well, Steve, that pretty much wraps up everything here at 2010 Canadian Royal Classic Selection Show. Make sure you're checking us out up there on Facebook. We've also got all our videos and promos up on our YouTube page under CMC Vault, and our Vimeo page under codename Slimdy.
That's right, John. This is an inside tip from Steve Oatmeal, but I would also check out Flirty Sex Bomb _69's YouTube page if you've got some time.
Well, for Steve Oatmeal, I'm John Texas Toast.
We'll see you Saturday, July 10th at 11 a.m.
See you at the cage.